Senator West,
Here.
Senator Yates, Representative Bratcher, Representative Bridges, Representative Burke, Representative Kleins, Representative Witten,
Here.
Senator Mills.
I'm here, and we do have a quorum. So this is our last task force meeting, and this is probably for more of the people in the audience or on TV as well as our committee members. But our task force report, we've got it in hand. We've had it for a couple days, and I'm sure everybody else is. You can download it off of the meeting materials. The purpose of today's committee meeting is really to just hear from the committee members if there's any input or discussion about maybe something that was left out or something you think is important to include in the report. Then we can you can present that information. We can talk about it and then possibly vote to amend and put that information in our report. But we have a strong report. Just want to recognize our staff, Chris Jakovich and others that did work at compiling this and taking notes all interim. They did a very good job of simulating this. And really what this is all about is trying to condense general information about housing shortage and in Kentucky. And the idea would be to move forward with this report individually with any legislation that you thought needed to occur, and then also some budget thoughts as far as tax credits or things that's just one example of things that we might want to move forward to, policy initiatives that we might want to push forward in the upcoming budget a year from now. So with that, oh yeah, and Chris has adaptly reminded me we need to approve our minutes. So is there a motion to approve our minutes? You have a second? A motion is second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. So at that point, I guess we just open it up to any members. I will mention that I reviewed this, both co-chair and I reviewed this prior to it being sent out, and we sent a couple of changes up that we'd like to see, and it has been added to the report. So any other comments from the members that are here today? Or any general comments about the process? Nope. Okay, everybody's shaking their head. Senator Higdon, do you have a comment?
I will say that we this has been a interesting task force to serve on. We have learned a lot about the crisis and how I guess it's much bigger than most realize. And I don't think there's one solution that we talked about that will solve our situation of the housing crisis, which is probably the roots of it go back to somewhere around the time 2008, and so it's like a snowball. It's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and so as we go forward, like I said, we've had a lot of suggestions, a lot of things we've looked at. And so hopefully in this next session we'll see some legislation that will help us with our housing issue. I know it's a big issue on the national level. We'll see what comes down from those policies and what comes forth from Kentucky. But I do have one piece of legislation that I'll be filing in January that, again, it's a little bitty piece to a great big problem. It's when you look at those puzzles, what is it, 1,000-piece puzzle? A lot of pieces to this puzzle. So hopefully we can. This task force was a good starting spot, and hopefully we can look back in a few years and say that we did some good and we kind of sowed some seeds for good things to happen in the housing industry. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, co-chairman. Appreciate you all and appreciate your work.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciated this process. when we first started this, we had said that nothing was going to be off the table, that we were going to look at all possible solutions, and I truly think that we did that. I'm really proud of the report that we did. We look at some statutory changes, we look at tax changes, we look at zoning change. We really looked at everything, and I think that all of us really came in with an open mind to fix this solution. And I really think that everybody on this committee did that. And I just want to thank everyone for their openness and for their sharing of this. I've really enjoyed this process.
Senator Higdon.
Yeah, I did. When I got through, I remembered I wanted to thank Wendy Smith and the Kentucky Housing Corporation for the work that they did. I know they were instrumental and brought a lot of information to us. So thank them and thank the staff and all those. We had a lot of nonprofits that weighed in, and thank them for their work, and look forward to working with all them as we move forward. So,
Representative Burke.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Madam Co-Chair. It has been an incredible honor to serve on this task force because of all the problems facing Kentuckians. I think we have put a fine enough point to realize that this is an issue facing communities across the state, that families in every municipality, small towns, large, and even our largest cities are struggling to keep roofs over their heads, and it's because we simply don't have enough roofs to go around. I'm impressed with all the presentations that we've had. We had excellent speakers, and I thank you for all the invitations that you extended and the people who were willing to give their time to come and testify and make presentations so that we can better understand the problem that is facing Kentuckians. I thank the staff. I think this is a really thorough and well-constructed report. I was really pleased to read it. You managed to capture hours of testimony in a way that's digestible, and that's exactly what we need to go forward. I have only one note regarding the report, and on page 5 in the demand side causes, there is in the first paragraph a reference to a supposition that was made several times that illegal immigration is one of the leading demand side causes of our housing shortage. I would suggest or request that we consider adding a phrase to the end of the final sentence of that first paragraph. It says that illegal immigration was raised as a possible source of increased demand, though no evidence was presented to support this assertion. I think adding that language is important because we heard a lot of research and evidence. And while I think it is a thing that one can use as conjecture, I don't know that we heard testimony or evidence to support that. And so I would be afraid that the report might not be completely accurate if it doesn't reflect the fact that we didn't have any presenter who documented that to be true.
Okay, any comments on that suggestion? Senator West is digesting it. Okay. Well, I'm amenable to that if you'd like to make that change. So I would second that motion. Any comments or concerns about that being added? Okay, if not, all in favor to the amendment by Representative Burks, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Let me explain my. I'm gonna pass on that, or no, I'll no vote. Even though there's no documented, the people that made those comments were, I think, came from credible sources. Even though there might not be any documentation to back that up, they were people who were knowledgeable of the situation. I'd have to review all those to say definitely or to change my vote to a yes, but I will say, I'm going to go just to the fact that based on what we heard, I think the people that were making the presentation were speaking from a position of knowledge of the situation. Thank you.
Senator West has a comment.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just as a point of parliamentary procedure, I would ask that it be made in the form of a motion, and second, and the specific language be stated again that
Okay.
we're agreeing to,
Very good.
so that we know what we're voting for sure.
Very good. Very good. Representative Burke, would you mind stating your motion?
Yes. I move that we add a clause to the end of the final sentence in the first paragraph of the demand side clauses on page 5, so that after the last two words, increased demand, there is an additional clause that would read, though no evidence was presented to support this assertion.
Okay. And I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Any more discussion on that? Representative Bridges.
I agree with the statement that many of those that testified were considered qualified to testify on this topic, so I'll be abstaining from this vote also.
After talking to staff, I think we're going to have a roll call on this. Is that that's my call to go ahead and have a roll call vote on this. So, Madam Clerk, if you're prepared to have roll call, that'd be great.
Senator West. Aye. Representative Bridges. Representative Burke.
Aye.
Representative Witten.
Aye.
Senator Mills.
Aye. Did you call Senator Higdon?
Oh, I'm sorry. Senator Higdon. So that was 1 no, 4 yeses, 1 pass.
Okay. All right. So we'll make that small amendment to our report, and we will. So when we accept this, if there aren't any other comments or suggestions on this report, that'll be amended. That small amount will be amended on our report, and so. Any other comments? This will be the last time to make comments on this by the committee members. All right. No comments. So we will, this will be a voice vote to approve the report as amended. So all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Very good. The report is accepted by the task force as amended by Representative Burke's small amendment there. And the final report will be put on the LRC website for everybody to obtain. So if there aren't any other questions or concerns, this kind of ends our responsibilities to the task force. And I want to thank everyone in the audience that's been a part of this. I want to thank the presenters. I think we really didn't duplicate the information and worked really hard. The LRC staff worked really hard to get everybody in to give input to this report, and look forward to the legislation that might come from this. So if not, we stand adjourned. Thank you.